Alright, let's dive into the Samsung Galaxy S25, the smallest member of this year's S series. So right off the bat, does it live up to the expectations of a flagship compact phone?
Honestly, not really. It feels like Samsung is playing it safe this year. It's not exactly breaking any new ground. There's a new chipset, but that's about it. It's mostly the same design and specs as last year.
Yeah, I noticed that. The design is slightly refined, but nothing too dramatic, right? Just 0.4mm thinner, which, let's be real, you'd barely notice.
Exactly. But it does feel nice and slim in the hand. The build quality is still top-notch. Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and the second-gen Armor aluminum frame. They're sticking to what works, I guess.
For sure, I'm also seeing they've kept the 6.2-inch LTPO OLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, no real upgrades in terms of brightness either, right?
Right. The brightness peaks at about 1400 nits, which is good enough for most outdoor conditions. But there's no major improvement over last year. Still, the screen looks great, and the adaptive refresh rate is solid for power saving.
Yeah, and the stereo speakers are still there, but it seems like they've been toned down a bit in terms of loudness, though the sound quality is richer. That's a nice touch.
Definitely. I think they've really focused on the software side this time. One UI 7 has some cool features, especially the AI-driven stuff like natural language processing and cross-app actions.
Cross-app actions are cool. The phone can automate complex tasks across multiple apps, which feels like a step toward making our phones smarter. Plus, the AI integration with the gallery and writing tools seems pretty useful.
Absolutely. It's like Samsung's putting more emphasis on enhancing the user experience with software, not just raw hardware specs. Speaking of specs, the Galaxy S25 is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite, right? That's a major upgrade in terms of performance.
Oh yeah, the performance is on point. The S25 has some serious muscle under the hood, with those higher clock speeds making it snappier than the S24. Benchmarks are through the roof, but the thermal throttling during stress tests is a little worrying.
Yeah, that's a classic flagship problem. The phone can't sustain peak performance for too long without heating up. But in real-world use, it's fast and smooth.
Battery life's another thing that stays consistent. They kept the same 4000 mAh battery from last year, and it lasts for about 12 hours of active use. Not terrible, but not exactly impressive either.
The charging speed is kind of underwhelming too. Just 25 watt charging and no charger in the box. A full charge takes over an hour, which feels kind of slow for a flagship in 2025.
Totally. And it's even more disappointing when you consider the competition. Phones like the Google Pixel 9 Pro and the iPhone 16 are pushing the envelope in terms of battery life and charging speeds.
Exactly. Now, the cameras, here's where things get a bit tricky. The main camera is still solid with a 50mm shooter, but honestly, other brands are catching up. The telephoto and ultra-wide cameras don't have the same sharpness, especially at night.
Yeah, the low light performance could definitely be better. The ultra-wide lens, especially, seems to have focus issues, which hurts the overall image quality. At night, things get a bit noisy, and the details aren't as crisp.
I agree. It's not terrible, but in this segment, you want something that blows you away. The S25's cameras don't quite do that, though the selfie camera is still a strong point, right?
Oh, for sure. The selfies are great. Good dynamic range, natural skin tones, and nice detail. It's definitely one of the better selfie cameras out there.
And for video, the S25 holds its own. 4K at 60 FPS is solid, and the main cam can even shoot 8K, which is nice for future-proofing. But I still think other phones have better video stabilization and low-light performance.
Yep. Overall, the Galaxy S25 is a strong compact flagship, but it feels like Samsung didn't push the envelope this year. The competition is just doing more, and the S25 feels like it's lagging behind in a few key areas.
Definitely. It's a good phone, but it's hard to recommend it when there are alternatives that offer better value, like the Pixel 9 Pro or iPhone 16. There's still room for improvement, especially in the camera and charging departments.
Agreed. Well, that's it for today's review. Let us know what you think about the Galaxy S25. Are you sold on it, or do you think there's something better out there?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Music.